Shalom. Numbers 28 and 29 gave us the Creator's complete worship calendar, daily, weekly, monthly, annually. Offerings are precise, the timing is fixed, the form is specified. Numbers 30 takes us somewhere different, not the altar, the mouth. If a man makes a vow to the Creator or swears an oath to bind himself by some agreement, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds from his mouth. One verse, every word carrying weight. The Torah is more concerned with the spoken word than most people stop to realize. What proceeds from your mouth before the Creator does not evaporate, it does not reset. It stands until it is fulfilled, or until it is lawful, nullified by someone with the covenant authority to do so. Welcome to Torah Sax Studio, Torah study with saxophone worship, verse by verse through scripture. Numbers 30 is Torah's complete legal code for vows and oaths, neder and shevu'ah. The chapter has 5 sections. Foundation principle for a man's vow in verse 2, the daughter's vow and the father's nullification authority in verses 3 to 5, then the betrothed woman's vow in verses 6 to 8, and the widow or divorced woman's vow in verse 9, and the married woman's vow and the husband's authority in verses 10 through 16. This chapter is Parashat Matot, which means tribes. The opening of the portion addresses the leaders of the tribes directly, establishing that the law of vows is communal and leadership accountable, not just personal. Like and subscribe because Numbers 30 has a word for every person who has ever spoken something before the Creator and wondered, does that still stand? If a man makes a vow to the Creator or swears an oath to bind himself by some agreement, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds from his mouth. Let's go into Numbers chapter 30, verse 1. Moshe speaks to the heads of the tribes of the children of Israel. The law of vows is delivered first to the tribal leaders. It is a communal and leadership accountable matter, for it is a personal one. Verse 2, if a man makes a vow to the Creator, neder, or swears an oath, shevu'ah, to bind himself by some agreement, le'eser, isar, he shall not break his word. Lo yakel devaro, he shall do according to all that proceeds from his mouth. 3 terms are introduced: neder, a vow, typically a commitment to do something or give something; shevu'ah, an oath, a binding sworn statement; isar, a prohibition a person places on themselves, a self-imposed restraint. And there's another one. Lo yakel devaro, he shall not break his word. The verb kalal means to profane, to make common, to allow out. Breaking a vow is not merely failing to follow through. It is an act of profaning the word itself. The word that was spoken before the Creator and has sacred weight. To fail to perform it is to make it hollow. All that proceeds. Numbers 30 verse 2 establishes the foundational Torah principle about spoken words before the Creator. They carry sacred weight and they stand. The verse does not say the vow stands unless circumstances change. It does not say the vow stands unless you change your mind. It says, he shall not profane his word. He shall do all that proceeds from his mouth. The word spoken before the Creator becomes a legal reality that the speaker is now responsible to fulfill. The Torah distinguishes between the neder, a positive vow to do or give something, and the shevu'ah, an oath sworn about a state of affairs. Both carry the same foundational principle. What is spoken before the Creator stands. The addition of the isar, a self-imposed restriction, extends the principle to negative commitments as well. If you have vowed not to do something, that too is binding. The full range of spoken commitments before the Creator, positive vows, oaths, and self-restrictions, all fall under the same weight of Numbers chapter 30 verse. Numbers 30 establishes that the mouth is a covenantal instrument. What proceeds from it before the Creator is not casual speech. It is the creation of a binding reality. This does not mean every spoken word is a vow. It means that deliberate speech before the Creator and promises, dedications, oaths creates a legal and covenantal standing that requires fulfillment. Is there something you have spoken before the Creator, a vow, a dedication, a commitment that you have treated as evaporated? Numbers 30 verse 2 says, "It has not evaporated, it stands. The question is whether it will be fulfilled or lawfully adjusted. He shall not profane his word. Lo yakel devaro. Breaking a vow is not merely failing to follow through. Halal means to follow out, to make common. The word spoken before the Creator carries a sacred weight. Numbers 30 says, "Your mouth is a covenantal instrument. What proceeds from it stands." Let's read on verses 30, verses 3 through to 8. If a woman makes a vow to the Creator and binds herself by an agreement while in her father's house or in her youth, then verse 4 says, "If her father hears her vow and her agreement by which she has bound herself and says nothing to her, all her vows shall stand. Every agreement with which she has bound herself shall stand." The father's silence is his confirmation. If he hears the vow and does not speak, the vow stands. But if her father overrules on the day that he hears it, then none of her vows shall stand. The Creator will release her because her father overruled her. The nullification authority has two conditions. It must be the right person, the father, and it must happen on the right day, the day he hears it. Not a week later, not after reflection, the day he hears it. If a woman is betrothed and has made a vow while she was in her father's house, when her husband to be hears it and says nothing on the day he hears it, her vow stands. But if on the day he hears it, he overrules her, then the vow does not stand. The betrothed woman's vow passes from the father's authority to the husband to be's authority upon marriage. The repeated phrase in this section, Beyom Shamo, on the day he hears it, is one of the most legally precise phrases in Numbers 30. The notification window is not open indefinitely. The father or husband to be has one day, the day that they hear the vow, to exercise the authority to annul it. If that day passes without action, the vow stands by default. Silence on any subsequent day is not confirmation, but the nullification authority has expired. Precision on the one-day window reflects a broader Torah principle about authority and accountability. Those who hold authority over a legal matter must exercise it promptly, or the matter is resolved without them. The vow-maker spoke and created a legal reality. The person with nullification authority has been given a defined window to respond. After that window, the vow stands, not because the father or husband has formally confirmed it, but because the time for action has passed. The one-day window of Numbers 30 carries a principle about decision making in covenant context. Some authorities expire if not exercised. If the context of vows and nullification authority that is not used on the day it is available is lost. The application is broader. There are moments in covenant life where the window for a particular action or response is defined and finite. When the day passes, the default takes effect. Are there windows of covenantal authority or response in your own life that are closing? And are you treating them as permanently open when the Torah says they are time limited? The father can nullify his daughter's vow, but only on the day he hears it, not a week later, not after reflection. The Yom Shamun, the day he hears it. After that, the vow stands by default. Numbers 30 says, some covenantal authorities expire if not exercised. The window is real and it closes. No, the widow and divorced woman and the married woman's vow. Verse 9. Every vow of a widow or a divorced woman by which she has bound herself shall stand against her. No nullification authority. No one day with the widow and the divorced woman are in a category where their vow is fully their own. There is no father's authority because she is no longer in her father's house, and no husband's authority because the marriage has ended. Her word stands without any possible annulment. What she speaks before the Creator, she fulfills alone. The married woman, if she made a vow while already married and her husband heard it and said nothing and did not overrule her on that day, he heard it, the vow stands. But verse 13, her husband may confirm every vow or nullify every vow on the day he hears it. If her husband says nothing from day to day, he has confirmed all her vows. His silence becomes confirmation over time, not just on the first day. But if he nullifies them after he has heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. If the husband has allowed the vow to stand by his silence, and then later nullifies it after the woman has acted on it, or incurred the obligation because of it, the husband bears the responsibility for the vow that was not fulfilled because of his late action. The widow's vow stands alone. The widow and the divorced woman occupy a unique legal position in Numbers 30. Every other category in this chapter, the unmarried woman, unmarried daughter, the betrothed woman, the married woman, has a nullification authority that can intervene between the spoken vow and its fulfillment. The widow and the divorced woman have none. What they speak before the Creator stands without any possibility of annulment. They are, in the legal structure of Numbers 30, the most accountable category of vow maker in Israel. The position of the widow and the divorced woman in verse 9, a single verse, simple and stark, between the sections on daughters and married women, is itself instructive. The chapter is organized around nullification authority. Verse 9 stands alone because for this category there is no nullification section to write. Our vow stands. Stop. The simplicity of the verse reflects the weight of the position. No intermediary, no window, no relief. What she said before the Creator is what she will do. The widow's vow in Numbers 30 carries a principle about personal covenant and accountability that applies beyond the specific legal category. When there is no one between you and the Creator, no mediating authority, no nullification window, what you have spoken stands completely. The widow's position in this chapter is not a disadvantage to be mourned. It is a description of direct covenantal standing. The word is directly before the Creator, and the Creator holds it. In the years of your life where you stand directly before the Creator without intermediary, do you understand that the weight of what you have spoken in these spaces? The widow's vow, one verse, no nullification section, no window. What she spoke before the Creator stands. She is the most directly accountable vow maker in Numbers 30. Numbers 30 says, when there's no one between you and the Creator, what you have spoken stands completely. Direct mental standing is not a disadvantage, it is weight. The husband who acts late. Numbers 30, verse 14 through to 16. This is the final and the sharpest legal ruling in the chapter. If her husband says nothing from day to day, he thereby confirms all her vows or all her agreements that are upon her. His silence over time has become confirmation. The wife has been operating under the standing of a confirmed vow. But if he makes them void after he has heard them, then he shall bear her iniquity. This is a reversal clause. The husband has two moments of authority. The hears the vow when he can nullify immediately, and the ongoing window of silence, which constitutes confirmation. If he has been silent and the wife has acted in reliance on the standing of her vow, and then he nullifies it, the vow is annulled. But it's not fulfillment. Its non-fulfillment is now his responsibility to bear. These are the statutes, verse 16, which the Creator commanded Moshe between a man and his wife, between the father and his daughter, while still in her father's house. The chapter closes by specifying the relationship scope between the man and his wife, and between the father and his daughter. The nullification authorities in Numbers 30 are relational. They exist within specific covenantal relationships, not as a general power over other peoples. Late nullification transfers the liability. The ruling in verse 15 that a husband who nullifies a vow after his silence has constituted confirmation shall bear his wife's iniquity is one of the most consequentialist legal rulings in Numbers 30. The Torah is concerned not just with who as the authority, but with when that authority is exercised and what the consequences of delayed exercise are. Authority exercised too late does not simply undo the vow cleanly, it transfers the iniquity from the vow maker to the one who delayed. The logic of verse 15 is this: the wife made a vow and was operating under its standing because her husband's silence confirmed it. She may have incurred obligations, made decisions, or committed herself to others on the basis of a confirmed vow. If the husband then nullifies the vow, those obligations cannot be fulfilled. And the failure to fulfill them is the result of his late action. Torah holds him responsible for the iniquity produced by his own failure to act in the window available to him. Numbers 30:15 establishes a Torah principle on the accountability of those who hold authority over others' covenantal commitments. The exercise of that authority carries its own timing responsibility. Authority, authority to nullify is real, but it comes with a window. Acting outside that window after silence has constituted confirmation does not neutralize the consequence. It simply transfers them. In what areas of your life are you holding an authority that requires timely exercise? And are you treating a closed window as still open? The husband's late notification doesn't just undo the vow, it transfers the liability to him. He had his window, his silence confirmed it. His late action breaks something the wife was relying on. Numbers 30 states authority exercised too late doesn't clean up the situation, it transfers the consequence. Numbers 30 is the Torah's complete law of vows, and its underlying principle is one of the most serious in all of Bamidbar. The mouth is a covenantal instrument, and what proceeds from it before the Creator stands. Four things this chapter gives you. Lo yakel devaro, he shall not profane his word. A vow before the Creator is not casual speech, it is the creation of a binding reality. Kalal, to profane means to hollow out. Breaking your word before the Creator is not a minor thing, it's making your speech hollow. The day he hears it, notification authority is real but time limited. The father's window, the husband's window, both open and close on the day of hearing. Some covenantal authorities expire if not exercised. The window is real and it closes. The widow's vow means alone, no intermediary, no window, no notification section. Direct covenantal standing. What she has spoken before the Creator she will fulfill. The most accountable position in the chapter is also the most direct. Late notification transfers the liability. The husband who acts after his silence has confirmed the vow does not simply undo it. He bears the iniquity his late action produces. Authority with a timing window cannot be exercised outside that window without consequences. The question Numbers 30 leaves you with: is there something you have spoken before the Creator, a vow, a dedication, a sworn commitment that you have been treating as casual or evaporated? Numbers 30 says it stands. The question is, what will you do with it? Thank you for joining, walking through Numbers 30 with me. Like, share, and subscribe to Torah Sax Studio. And do not miss Numbers 31, War against Midian. The command given in Numbers 25 is now carried out. Shalom.